Let's get to the picks. And the New England Patriots visit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Thursday Night Football on CBS. Can't wait for it. The New England Patriots are 5.5-point favorites on the road. Todd Fuhrman, take your pick.
I hate to do it, Adam, because we've seen New England bounce back after poor performances. They look like world beaters. And against Carolina, they were nothing short of deplorable on the defensive side of the ball. They're on a historic pace from a defensive efficiency standpoint right now to be that bad. I think Bill Belichick will get it figured out, but it's not going to happen in a short week. Not against a team like Tampa that has weapons for days. We expect to see Doug Martin back there in a limited role. I just think this number's a little bit inflated. I made it closer to a field goal, so I'll gladly take the points with the homebound Bucs.
I'm with you, Todd. I'm grabbing the points. I am rolling with the Buccaneers with the points. I wouldn't be surprised if they won. I'm picking New England, as I said earlier, to win the game. This feels like 38-35, feels like 35-31. Big game for Mike Evans, big game for Doug Martin in his debut, as you mentioned. But it's Tom Brady. That's good enough for me on Thursday Night Football on CBS. But give me the Bucs with the points. The Arizona Cardinals hit the Philly on Sunday. The Eagles are favored by 6.5. Todd Fuhrman, take your pick.
The Arizona Cardinals are a mess, Adam. I watched that game in great detail, trying to figure out what this team was going to be going forward. And when you muster a grand total of 18 points at home against the San Francisco 49ers, it may be time to hit the panic button. The offensive line is extremely banged up. We know Carson Palmer's not going to be able to extend plays. There's no running game to speak of. And while I don't love the situational spot for Philadelphia, I like what I see week in, week out when Carson Wentz has this offense at home. I think he'll spread the ball around to his talented cast of receivers. And maybe LeGarrette Blount found the fountain of youth last weekend against the Chargers. If he can do it again to give them a balanced attack, I like Philadelphia here to win this game by more than a touchdown.
Wow, a couple of early agreements, Todd. I'm with you. You know I love the Cardinals, but no David Johnson, no chance in this one. We built the Carson Wentz wagon. We're all over the Philadelphia Eagles. They're winning the division. I think Philly wins by double digits. The Carolina Panthers head to Detroit this weekend. The Lions are 2.5-point home favorites. Todd Fuhrman, take your pick.
Adam, you mentioned Detroit. The first time all season this coming Sunday, they're going to be favored in a football game. Despite going 3-1 to start the year, they've been underdogs in those previous 4 contests. And while I don't love the situational spot from Carolina, needing to get that same emotion they showed winning on the road at New England, I think Cam Newton got back to basics. He established that dual threat ability, carried it 8 times, and while his comments off the field I don't agree with or approve of, it doesn't impact how I handicap this contest. I think Detroit starts to look like a more average football team. Give me Carolina here catching the points.
You know, truth be told, Todd, I don't necessarily buy either one of these teams at 3-1, but I like the Lions more. I think they're more well-rounded. I think that Amir Abdullah's ability to run the football last week was a significant development. I think Matthew Stafford is a more clutch quarterback than Cam Newton. And I'm going to roll with the Detroit Lions to win and cover coming up this weekend. Huge statement game for both these teams. I can't wait for this game. The LA Rams favored at home by 1 over the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday. Todd Fuhrman, take your pick.
Adam, this game is fascinating in terms of what it means to the NFC West and the line movement the same way. Had this game been played last weekend, we'd be talking about Seattle as a field goal favorite. This number moved as far as the Rams, a 2.5-point chalk when the number opened. You've since seen a steady flow of support from professional bettors coming in on Seattle thinking, not so fast, the Jared Goff era is going to have to wait another week before we start to anoint him the king of Los Angeles. I think Seattle uses this as a rallying cry, and while I'm scared to death of their offensive line and the ability to slow down Aaron Donald, I think Russell Wilson and that defense rise to the occasion. Give me Seattle to get a road win in unfamiliar territory.
Oh, we're going to anoint Todd Fuhrman. We are going to anoint. I love the Rams. I think that the Coliseum's going to be jumping. I love this football team, their ability to run the football. Todd Gurley's the ultimate closer. Their run game, their offensive line, so much better than Seattle's. And I think you kind of just glossed over a major mismatch in this game for LA. Aaron Donald is going to eat the Seahawks for lunch. Big game for Jared Goff. I think Sean McVay's a stud. Huge statement win and a huge statement in general. The Rams are the team to beat in the NFC West. I'm all in on the Rams. The Green Bay Packers head to Dallas on Sunday. The Cowboys are favored by 2.5. Todd Fuhrman, take your pick.
Hardest game of the entire weekend for me to try and handicap, Adam, because the one thing I'm looking at from a Dallas perspective is their linebacking core. No Sean Lee last weekend against the Rams was a major problem. Anthony Hitchens, we're not sure of his status, if he'll be available. And when you look at this Cowboys offensive line that now ranks 18th in the league after they're just not playing at the same level, and if you can't sustain long drives like we saw a season ago, it puts an undue amount of stress on that defense, which isn't capable of getting stopped. We know what Aaron Rodgers can do, but with revenge on the mind of the Cowboys, knowing this is a statement game where they need to hold serve at home after losing to the Rams, I'll begrudgingly lay the short number with Dallas and think they get back in the win column.
Listen, you begrudgingly lay the short number. I say Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I'm hearing short numbers, big numbers, house money, chalk. Todd, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's Michael Jordan. The Cowboys are not the same. That's crystal clear. When in doubt, you don't roll with the Cowboys. You roll with my guy, Aaron Rodgers. I think the Green Bay Packers are going to win this game by double digits. And I can't wait for the ball game on Sunday night, Todd. It's going to be an excellent one. The Houston Texans host the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs. Todd, this game is a pick'em. So, Todd Fuhrman, literally take your pick.
Adam, I ask you this honestly, is there any room left for people to jump on the Kansas City Chiefs bandwagon at this point in the year?
No. No.
Perfect. So you know what I'm doing? When everybody's jumping on, I'm jumping off. Give me the Houston Texans here at home with the better defense, a quarterback coming of age in Deshaun Watson, and a ground game that's been sneaky good with Lamar Miller and Todd Fuhrman. I think when you look at these two teams, the way they match up, this game a lot more important for the Houston Texans. Kansas City coming in off of a short week, a game where they were pretty fortunate not only to win, but to cover that number late, as you alluded to at the top of the segment. I think the Texans announced that they're going to be here for real. And how many times do they need revenge against a team that's knocked them out of the playoffs? It feels like 5 out of the last 10 years. I think the Texans get right on Sunday Night Football. Deshaun Watson announces his arrival with authority.
By the way, Todd, I think it's fair for me both. I'm on the Chiefs bandwagon, and I love the Houston Texans. And I said as much on Tuesday on Time to Shine. Listen, if Kansas City gets that 1 seed, I could see them going to the Super Bowl. And I'm also picking them to lose on Sunday night. I'm all in on Deshaun Watson. Can't get enough. This kid is special. This kid's got a knack. The Houston Texans will hand the Kansas City Chiefs their first loss of the season. Let's take a look at the rest of our picks for week number 5 in the NFL. We're both rolling with the LA Chargers. I've got the Chargers winning outright. I've got the Bills. Todd, for some reason, likes Andy Dalton and the Bengals. The Cleveland Browns are the pick. The Tennessee Titans are my selection. Todd is rolling with the Miami Dolphins. I think the San Francisco 49ers and Kyle Shanahan, the best bet of the week. Todd, for some reason, is taking the Indianapolis Colts. We're both grabbing the points with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Todd, with his usual, never picks the Oakland Raiders. And we're both rolling with Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears. Of course, we'd like to remind our viewers, as we do every week here on Time to Shine, don't forget to check out Todd's Bet the Board podcast, easily found at bettheboardpodcast.com. Todd, good luck this weekend, and we'll catch up next week.